Hello everyone, I'm Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and I have this card. It's almost all the same card to show you, but obviously there's different papers and slightly different changes to them. And so they all use the iconic imagery stamp set and the coordinating dies. And so I want to show you. So it's kind of fun. It's in the online exclusive section of the store, but hopefully you can see you can use this for a few different occasions and reasons. And so like these ones are Christmassy. And so I'm just backtracking. So this card is almost copied from one of the samples that Stampin' Up made using this. And so you can kind of see it right. If you go to this stamp set on the store, you'll kind of see it. I think I changed minor things, but basically it's the same. And this is what I wanted to do for an event that I had planned in September. That was the plan. I had all sorts of directions made. And I mistakenly didn't order enough paper. So I had all these samples made up. So anyways, I changed it. I changed the card, and so I just changed the paper using the Ness of Winter, the Ness of Winter designer paper, which is just beautiful. It's lots of birds, birch wood, you know, definitely kind of wintry. You can kind of get the feel for the paper. So that's what I changed it to for the event. So these were my originals that I'm going to show you because I want to show you the versatility of it. And so that went with this paper, which is the iconic celebrations paper. And so it kind of has fall, Christmas, doves, hearts. There's hearts in there somewhere for Valentine's Day, champagne for New Year's. So anyways, these are the two. So I'm going to make another version using this paper for this video, but I want to show you the different versions of the card using the original paper I had done. So the two differences between like these two, besides the paper, are I had cut out the celebrate. In this one, I just stamped directly on, and that was just as different levels for people who whatever they wanted to do. This was a little bit less work than this one. But like I said, you can, there's Valentine's, so you could just do love, you could do birthday, and all of this is included. So you get hearts, you get candles, you get leaves, Christmas trees, little greenery. So I turned that one into a birthday, Valentine, I did Hanukkah, and then I did kind of a similar version, but slightly different for Thanksgiving. So there's a lot of versatility in the set, that's kind of my point. Okay, so we are going to make a card. Actually, I'll just leave that there for now. Just a different pattern paper. So I think I'm going to use this paper, which I love this paper. And so we're just going to start cutting the border. So it is 3 3/4 by 5. Now you could make it a little bit bigger, but I kind of liked how you had the border of, actually I want to cut it this way first. I'm going to do 5. That just leaves a little bit more paper here for another project. So now I'm going to do, if you want, you can kind of pick out where you want your birds. Let's see. I could have those birds, or I could have those birds. I actually might do it that way. All right, so we'll have those birds done. I think everything else is cut. So I have my card base. I decided to do shaded spruce, and that's a standard 8.5 by 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So if you wanted other layers behind, you can. But I didn't want it to be too busy because this is, you know, a little bit busier. So that's what I'm going to do. That's for the inside. And actually, I'll put a strip of different paper in there. So we'll pick out a strip later. All right, so we need to stamp. So I have all my stamps unboxed, and I'll show you kind of what I did as tips along the way. I'm gonna actually, this is cherry cobbler, which I tend to get all over my fingers. I'm just gonna stamp that one straight on. I'm gonna put it aside, let it dry for a second. And then if I were to make this a little bit, I don't want to say faster or easier because it's not really hard to cut it out, but if I wanted to make a little less steps, I would just take the die that comes with a set and cut it out like that. But I'll just do this one just to show you what I did. All right, so actually we're going to do all our stamping and then we can do all our cutting out once. I think we'll do it that way. So I need my cherry cobbler back. So they had, again, I had said I had copied this from Stampin' Up, and they had red trees. Where did it go? And I thought it was kind of fun to have a red tree, a little bit different. And so what I did, hopefully you can see on there, I labeled them again because I had different stations set up and people were making them at different rates. So I kind of wanted to teach about the two-step stamping. And so I labeled my blocks of which one to stamp first and which one to stamp second. I'm just going to grab scrap paper because we're going to stamp off as well. And I don't have my cloth up here because I washed it to stamp off on. All right, so I'm just going to stamp a tree like that. And then on my number 2, I'm actually going to stamp on scrap paper first, and then I'm going to stamp on top of the outline tree. Now, you can actually do these in other order. You could stamp this one first. I know some people do that and like to do the outline second. It really doesn't matter, but I had some beginners and I thought it was easier to kind of teach them that way. So we're going to do the same thing with our, so we just did the tree, it's the two-step, meaning the two pieces make one, and we'll do that for the, I don't know, the evergreen I was calling it. So I'm going to use Mossy Meadow because that's what I originally had set up, even though that shaded spruce, I think the Mossy Meadow still works. So I have these labeled as well as 1 and 2. So I'm just going to stamp 1. I'm actually going to do 2 of them. So I'll stamp twice. I'm going to stamp on my scrap first. And then it lines up really nice. Now I could use a different color if I wanted old olive or a lighter color. But I didn't want too many supplies out for people to get confused or stamps to get put in the wrong color ink. So we just do the stamp off and you get the same color, just a lighter tone. So I think that works out pretty nicely. All right, I think that's okay. Just trying to keep myself tidy here because I'm gonna bring my cutting machine here. I have limited space. All right, so I have that I'm going to cut out. I'm going to cut out a label and I'm going to cut that out. Perfect. That we don't need. I have my machine here. And I have my plates here. Alrighty. So for die cutting, you want to use both 1 and 2. And you want to use a clear one. And then, actually this one I'm going to cut with scissors, so I don't need that one right now. This one I'm just going to cut a blank one, and I love this shape of label. I'm going to use that lots. And like I said, you get 2 different stars, you get all these tiny stars, tiny hearts. You get a couple different labels. That's a smaller one, that's a candle. Here's another one we'll use, but this is what I want. The trees, and I already actually cut those out. Little gold sprigs. So I do have, we'll see if it's still sticky, a little washi tape on there to help keep it in place. I don't think it's sticky anymore, but that's all right. Okay, put that on top, and I don't know, nice clean brand new plate. Sometimes what I do is I use the older one on the bottom and I use the newer ones on top. It makes them last a little bit longer. And then when the one on the bottom gets, you know, used up, then I will put the top one and then just grab another one. You get 2 in a pack. All right, so we have our leaf, we have our tree, and we have our plain label. And I like it has nice stitching on it. And I need to cut out this last one. All right, the other thing I like to do with my machine, let me just get that off there. I know that these legs come up for storage because it's smaller, but I kind of just store it this way. And what I do is I take my plates, because sometimes you'll notice that these plates can warp a little bit, but I'm telling you, this is really old and it's not warped. So what I do is I put this on the bottom and I put the other one, it's like on the bottom, and I roll it through halfway. And I just store it this way. The pressure of the machine puts pressure in the middle and it keeps them nice and straight so they don't have any warping. So my plates last a long time and they get a lot of use. All right. So let's put this on first. And then I'm actually going to do kind of what I did here with this one with the ribbon. This one I did not do the ribbon. I didn't know if it'd be too busy. This one might be a little busy too, but I'm just going to show you what I did in case you want to copy it. So this ribbon goes with a suite. It's called Frayed Grosgrain. And it does, both edges have a little kind of a frayed look. So it's a little bit casual ribbon versus some of the elegant ribbons we have. And what you can do, I'm going to use tear and tape, but I did use glue as well. Actually, and that's what I was trying to show on my directions here. I'm going to put a little tear and tape right down the middle. Maybe only like, it's probably like 1.5 inches. I don't want it to go too low, because you know, it's whatever the width is of that label. So I'm going to peel the backing off there. So this part is sticky. I'm going to take my ribbon, and I know I had the measurement, I don't know if it's on here, just seeing if I wrote how much of the ribbon I did. 13 inches. All right, let's measure. We'll do exactly what I said, 13 inches. And I lost my scissors. There we go. I'll just cut it on the diagonal. All right, so I have my 13 inches of ribbon. So I'm just gonna kind of make it into a Z shape. So start in the right corner, do a little loop. You can make the loop go as, you know, wherever you want it. And do another little loop here. So it sticks on, that might even be too long. It sticks on that tear and tape that I did. Then when I go to put my label and I say, oh, it's not exactly, I want this to be down further, I just lift it up and move it down. So you have, you know, you have a little leeway of, versus if you put it glue down, then once it's kind of down, it's down. So you have that little ribbon look. Again, that's optional. The other thing I'm going to do is, because we are going to put this right on top, I'm going to put dimensionals kind of in between where the ribbon is. And that's what's going to make it stick. Oh, and I'll do one more. Partially holds the ribbon down, but it's what's going to make that label stick. just gonna peel these off. All right. That's gonna go right on there. I think that's straight like that. Or if you had stamped to celebrate, then you just put that one right on top. So now I'm going to just take this and just cut with scissors. I'm just gonna really kind of round around the edges of each letter. And I'm not making it exact. So you'll see, oops. Some letters I kind of really go around and some I will not. So I think it's fine that I'm leaving white spaces because it's going right on top of white paper. So you have a little bit of wiggle room there. And when I cut, I pretty much keep my scissors in the same spot and I rotate, oops, I rotate my paper around. I also leave a white space around whatever I'm cutting. So in this instance, it's the letters, but if I have a stamped image, a lot of times I leave a little white border and I think it just makes it easier to cut. All right. So that didn't take too long. And it's just one more layer and we're gonna pop that up. Before I pop that up, I had already stamped the Peace and Joy. Where'd my stamp set go? They're actually, I have the stamp here. I really need a bigger table. I have it here. It's actually 3 different stamps. I just put them all together on one block to make it easier to just ink and stamp. But if you want them separate colors, then you can just stamp them separately. But Peace and Joy is what I did, but you can kind of make your own phrases. And this label is part of this set as well. So I'm just going to actually put this down first. And I'm just going to glue it down. And this is, it's crumb cake paper, and I just stamped it with navy blue just to, just for different colors in there, but it's still kind of a neutral, but it's, you know, it's not all the same. All right, so dimensionals. And then this will go on top. Like that, and I kind of like how it overhangs there. And then I have my little sprigs here in my tree. So I will pop up my tree as well. Like that. And then these guys you can tuck in wherever you want. And I saw them. Here they are. It's actually, it looks like gold until you know what it is. It's actually peach pie glitter paper. But it has that goldness to it. And so these dies are included. You can actually get 2 of them. And so I just have these little gold sprigs. And now if you wanted to, you could use this too and use some gems for like some berries. But I just decided, and this, it's funny, so it's a little bit kind of one color, and you put this in here, it just really kind of pops. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little glue, just tuck it underneath, a little glue. Oop, that's even more than I wanted. And tuck that there. And this one, you could either have go underneath. This one I actually put it under the tree, but since I already put the tree there, I'm just going to have it go under my label here. Like that, oops. There we go. And again, if you wanted gems, you could add gems, but it's kind of fun. So for the inside of each of the cards, I had, this one's kind of a wider strip than normally I do, but I wanted you to see the whole bird. These ones are a little bit skinnier. I think because this was 6x6 paper, I think we were left over with 1 inch, and so that's why I left it. So you can just pick whatever pattern you want and then just cut it. I think it was 3 3/4 wide. I'll go through the pack. I won't have you do it because it'll take me a while to figure out what pattern I want to go there, but I'll just put a little strip on top. So let me bring those 3 back from this paper pack from the Nests of Winter. There we go. I think you've probably seen this. They're a little bit different, but they're kind of similar. And then if you prefer, or like the iconic Celebrations paper, there we go. I think, yeah, here's one more. So that's it. So now I have a lot of Christmas cards done, which I'm very excited about. So if you need any help ordering any of these supplies, let me know. I'm happy to help you out. You could also go to mailsomethingpretty.com and click shop, and that will bring you right into the store. And again, if you need help with anything, please let me know. I am Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty. Have a great day. Thank you.